Wait a minute, I gotta finish listening to Leon. I had to finish listening to Leon. We couldn't start in the middle of a Leon Russell song. Welcome to Best You, and thanks for being here. And I do want you to pat yourself on the back. I'm serious. I have this thing that I really admire people that prefer education over entertainment. Because if you tuned in tonight, it wasn't for entertainment. You had to want to learn something. Robin is behind the camera. She controls all the action.
Hey y'all, hey.
So chat with her. She likes it. So send her a message while you're there. And she waits for your questions. So we rely on your questions throughout the week or the 2 weeks between taping or even now. Please send us your questions now. If something arises that I say that sparks an interest, ask her. She'll relay the information to me. But I want everybody to grasp this concept. With all that's going on, that's a new Southern phrase that Robin taught me this week. With all that's going on, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein said that, and he's a whole lot smarter than I am. So let's quickly go over the essentials. Robin is ready for your questions, so ask her. Our email address is bestyouguru@yahoo.com. So for those of you that don't have it, it's bestyouguru@yahoo.com. Send any questions, comments, just send those to us. We write a bi-monthly blog. If you would like to have a copy of that, tell me. Just send me an email that says, Harry, I want that bi-monthly blog. I want to know what you think throughout the month. Or send some topic suggestions. If you ever don't want to stop receiving it, just tell me. Our website address is bestyouguru.com. Check out our website. It's bestyouguru.com. And we also, which is new to us, we've expanded our knowledge base and stretched our talents. We created a YouTube channel. We need your subscriptions, and they're free, but it helps the popularity and it grows to who gets to see it. So go to YouTube, and it's Best You Discussions. Again, it's Best You Discussions on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel now. And as always, donations are appreciated. You can Venmo at Robin-Shivery or at PayPal. And PayPal is easy. It's bestyouguru@yahoo.com. Donations are always appreciated. Best You, for those who are new to this program, is founded on 3 basic principles. 1, we believe that everyone has the seeds of greatness within them. Everyone. Number 2, society's mission is to standardize, socialize, and sterilize you so that you can conform to the mission of society. And number 3, achievement is the best way to live your potential. So with those 3 principles, I want everybody to know that you can live the life of your dreams. You know, I hear people all the time, they say, well, all you got to do is find your passion, follow your passion, pursue your passion. I disagree. I think that's absolutely wrong. I believe you should find your purpose. Find your purpose and follow your purpose. Because you see, passion is fleeting. Passion is temporary. And passion is oftentimes induced by society. So find your purpose, follow it. A purpose-filled life is a happy life. So if you can pursue your purpose with passion, then you'll win. We are happy you're joining us this evening because one idea, one concept, one thought, just one nugget of information could change your life. And that's why we're here, to help you live your potential. Thoughts and ideas are what really changes the world. So look for tonight. There should be one piece of information that you can grab onto, hold onto, and hopefully help you achieve. Our topic tonight is ask, receive, and give. You know, these stay-at-home orders and the temporary shutdown of non-essential businesses provides you, most of you, a tremendous opportunity to be safe, display compassion, and to regroup. And you say, well, Harry, what do I got to regroup? This is a great time to regroup. Find out what you want to do, what your passions are. There has never been a better time to assess your greatness. You see, our society, our world, your family, your friends, all of us need your greatness. People should use this time to clarify and identify their strengths. We have become too dependent on corporations to define us in our society. We are not dependent upon our greatness enough. When people ask in our country, well, what do you do? Hi, my name is Bill. What do you do? Oftentimes, the first thing that comes to our mind is what we do for a vocation. What do we do for a living? That should be a warning to all of us. Becoming dependent upon people and organizations, contrary to your welfare, is not the best path for any of us. Try to identify with your greatness rather than your occupation. The question about this time in our history, with all that's going on in the country, is we got to remember this time will pass. The question will be not what happened in this time, but how did you use this time? We will make it to the other side of this dilemma. We will. Most of us will make it to the other side unscathed. But then what? What then? Will you use this time to strengthen your greatness, or will you weaken it and give in to the comfort of sameness? If you're living your purpose, if you're living your dreams, is what you seek stronger and wiser and more skillful after this dilemma? Or will you become just passing the time to know how to become stronger, wiser, and more skillful? If you want to really know what dreams are made of, first thing you got to do is ask. That's right, it's that simple. Just ask. Ask someone who has walked the path you want to walk. Ask someone who lives the life they want to live. Ask someone who lives their purpose. On our website, bestyouguru.com, we have listed a lot of friends on there. Now, these people are positive, skillful, and willing to help you. If you are stuck, if you need some help, or if you just want to talk to someone who's walked the path you want to walk, or has experience of living their dreams, contact them. We have painters, writers, artists, musicians, entrepreneurs, equine specialists. We even have a world-famous blacksmith artist. Ask these people. Contact them. Oh, and by the way, if you can use their services, that's fine. But these people are all our friends, and they will help you achieve your dreams as well. Robert and I are here to help you. All you got to do is ask. You must learn how to ask to receive what you seek. One of the hardest things to do in our society is we become timid. We become afraid. But you've got to learn how to ask for what you seek. You know, our jobs socialize us. We become comfortable with what the boss or the corporation give us. We're afraid oftentimes to ask for a wage that we find appropriate or a raise. This has led to a lot of people not knowing or understanding their true worth. If you don't ask for what you are worth, there is no reward system set in place. You must learn to ask. We must help each other ask. We must encourage each other to ask, to better ourselves. We must stop this being intimidated or timid in knowing our self-worth. So I ask you to ask yourself, why am I afraid to ask? Ask for advice. Ask for a raise. Ask for the proper wage. Always, always ask for what you're worth. Second thing you must learn how to do is receive. Receive. Yes, learn to receive your worth. Don't expect to receive anything other than your worth. Ask for what you're worth, and then expect to receive what you're worth. You're worthy to receive help, so ask for it. You're worthy to receive fair compensation, so ask for it. Too often, we are embarrassed to receive. There are many among us who are willing to receive well beyond their worth. So why don't you ask for what you're worth? Life, you see, is not a zero-sum game. Receiving your worth does not mean that someone else receives less. In fact, if you're receiving your true worth, your true self-worth, should mean others receive more as well. Asking for and receiving your true worth expands the pie. It doesn't shrink it. So learn to receive what you appropriately ask for. And the hardest principle for most people to learn is to give. We must learn to give in order to be complete. Those who do not give or give grudgingly will never live their potential. Part of your purpose in life is to give. To live a full and happy life, you must give. And that doesn't mean money. It means give of yourself. Give of your talents. Give what others need that you can offer. Our daughter Marley, as a young teenage girl, would drive to the poorest cities of Jacksonville and give away coats in the wintertime to the homeless. Jacksonville, Florida, the homeless people, she would go there by herself oftentimes and just give coats to the people in the wintertime. She wanted them to feel the warmth that she was lucky enough to feel. So I ask you to give. One year, Robin and I and Marley were in Las Vegas on Thanksgiving, and for whatever reason, Robin and Marley had this idea that they wanted to feed the homeless. So what we do? We go make it some meals, and Robin and Marley and I walk down Fremont Street, handing out meals to homeless people. Did it cost us anything? Just a little bit. But I ask you to give. That made us feel good that at least for one evening, those people got or received a meal. So give. You have something to give. Each of you do. All of us do. Learn how to give. If you want to live your purpose, if you really want to be happy, give. Let us know of your stories so we may share them. Let us know your ideas on how to give. Email us at bestyouguru@yahoo.com and tell us those stories. Let us pass them on so we can learn how to help one another, because you cannot live a complete life by holding on to everything. You must learn how to give. When you're on your deathbed, you will be remembered by what you gave away as opposed to what you keep for yourself. This is a great time to give yourself a little happiness. If you really, really want to help this country, if you really want to feel good, if you realize there are people right now in food lines to receive food. There was a line I saw in Texas. I think it was right outside Austin. Probably a 2 or 3 hour wait of people waiting to get food. So I ask you, no one should go hungry in our great country. So I ask you to check this organization out. It's Second Harvest Food Bank. Now I have no connection with them, but I find them to be a reputable organization, and they're out there on the front lines feeding people. Second Harvest Food Bank. Check them out. $1 provides 3 meals. And I can think of no greater thing than to help somebody have a meal. Second Harvest Food Bank. At least feeding someone allows them the knowledge that someone cares. You see, life is really a circle. We're born, we live, and we die. It's that simple. But within that circle, there's another circle. Ask, give, receive, and give. Ask, receive, and give. So it's a circle. Ask for what you're truly worth. Don't ask for more. Don't ask for less. Ask for what you're really worth. That's why we ask for donations. It's very simple. We believe we're worth it. How much? That depends on how much we help you. But we believe we're worth the ask. Many of you have given, and we appreciate that. And it's our time to give back. So you ask, receive, and give. Now, on to this week's questions. Again, if you have any questions of Robin, please ask, because that's why we're here.
No. If you have any questions of Harry, please. Robin's not the question answerer. It's Harry. I just relay questions. I'm happy to relay questions.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And I do like that shirt you have on tonight. Nice OU banner there. I appreciate that.
Wow, thank you.
The first question we got this week was, how do I know what I can do? How do I know what I can do? My first response is, how do you know what you can't do? So instead of looking at it, how do I know what I can do? How do you know what you can't? The differences between opinion and facts, you got to know the difference. There's a lot of people, a lot of information that says what you can't do. But that may be just opinion. Determine what is factual. Because you got to understand that when you accept something as truth, it becomes your truth. So how do you know what you can do? Oftentimes, it's by finding out what you can't. So determine what you can do by determining what you can't do. My son, when he was 5 years old, broke his first 1-inch board. Set the board up in the garage. We were having martial arts practice. He came up and said, "Hey, Dad, I want to break a board." Well, everybody was a little intimidated because he's 5 years old, just learning the martial arts, been around it all his life, but just learning. So we set the board up between 2 concrete blocks, and he took his little hand. I talked to him. He took his little hand, looked up in the air, came down, and he broke the board. He broke a 5-year-old child broke a 1-inch white pine board. 12 by 12. 12 inches by 12 inches, 1 inch thick. His hand went through it. And all these years, people ask me, "Harry, how did you know? Why did you let Jack break that board? I mean, how could you know he would do it? How did you know he wouldn't break his hand?" The trick to Jack breaking that board, very simply, he never knew he couldn't. He never knew he couldn't. His entire life has been about watching people do something no one ever told him he couldn't. So I ask you, what do you know you can do, regardless of what people told you you couldn't do? If it's your true desire, if it's really part of you, I believe you can. But now if it involves money, that's not relevant. But Harry, I want $1 million. How would $1 million really change you? It's not. There's very few children that come into this world wanting $1 million. It's what that $1 million represents. So when you ask for something, get to the source of what it represents. Jack didn't break the board to feel macho or powerful. He just broke the board. So be careful of what you ask for, what your true goals are. Make sure they're really a part of you. And so when you ask, how do I know what I can do? How do you know you can't? Second question we got this week. How can I believe in myself when no one else does? To me, that's one of the saddest things in our world, is when no one believes in you. Because that haunts you your entire life. So how can I believe in myself when no one else does? First thing you got to do is stop lying to yourself. So what do you mean? I don't lie to myself. We all do. But I'm going to challenge you. Stop lying to yourself about who you are, what you can do, and who is the true you. How do you know you can't? How do you know you're not? Stop lying to yourself. Challenge yourself. I mean, if you say, I want to do something, is there a law that says you can't? Is there some rule that says you can't? Challenge yourself. When no one else believes in you, challenge yourself. There's no law that says you can't do this. If there is, go do it. There's no rule book that says you can't do something that's really part of you. If there is, don't do it. But generally, for most of us, if you want to really believe in yourself, connect with yourself. My life serves as a kind of a testament. I've been told so many things that I couldn't do that I wound up doing. Not in spite of them, just because it's something I wanted to do. So, you believe in yourself because you love yourself. Believe in yourself because you want something. If you or anyone else says you can't, ask why not. What makes them, if someone tells you you can't do something, ask yourself, and even ask them. If you're gutsy enough, ask them. What makes them think so little of you that they don't believe that you can? And then I would turn that question back around and ask you, if it's something you truly want, if you think it's something within your power, if you think it's something you're meant to do, but you doubt yourself, or someone else doubts you, ask why. Chances are people don't believe in you because they don't believe in themselves. So don't allow anyone else's expectation of themselves, or anyone else's expectations of their potential, or anyone else's expectation of their belief in themselves be transferred to you. Oftentimes we're told we can't do something because people are afraid we will. It's that simple. People tell us we can't do it because they're afraid we will. Like any other question that you have during the week, if you need or want or desire a further explanation, please email us. I'll be glad to expound. The next question we have from this week was, whenever I set my goals, something always happens to stop me. Whenever I set my goals, something always happens to stop me. First thing I want to ask is, you may have already accomplished what was best for you. Maybe you wanted to travel 10 blocks and you went 7. So look at what you did accomplish as opposed to what you didn't accomplish. So maybe something happens because you stopped where you're supposed to stop. So that's one thing that could happen. The other thing is, Jeff Olson had a line that confused me for a long time, but I'll tell you, it says, don't want what you don't want. So you may have set an expectation of doing something, but something stops you because you really didn't want it after all. What works well for Robin and I are Plan A and Plan B. We may have a plan to drive to Los Angeles. We're going to just take off for a couple days or a week and travel to Los Angeles, drive across country. But we stop in San Jose because there was a nice art exhibit. So we never make it to Los Angeles. We stopped in San Jose. Well, we didn't accomplish our goal, but San Jose was Plan B, and it turned out to be better than what we were just going to Los Angeles for. So therefore, don't always look at your original plan as your real purpose. Plan B may be better. And the most important thing, whenever you set goals and something always happens to stop me, make sure you're not sabotaging yourself. When you set a goal, make sure it's worthy of you and it's part of your authentic identity. And chances are you'll accomplish it. Otherwise, I would look to, are you sabotaging yourself because you believed in the illusion or the version of what society told you? So therefore you thought, well, I couldn't do it, so I'm going to reinforce what I was told. Make sure you're not sabotaging yourself. Next question. This is difficult, and I don't know how to answer it except how to answer the best way I know how. Question is, the world is full of so much negativity and mean people. How can I fight this negativity and achieve my goals? That's hard. We do live in negative times to some degree, and there's really not that many mean people. And I think I've said this before because it's one of my favorite sayings. Jim Rohn used to say, there's not really that many mean people. They just move around a lot. So how do you accomplish your goals? First thing is speak truth to power. Speak your truth. Never be afraid of your truth. Silence. When you silence your voice, silence is complicity in that meanness or that negativity. People will find their voice, their true voice, if you'll speak your true voice. Speaking truth to power is one of the best things we can do in our society today. Now, when you do that, check your ego, check your facts, and make sure you're speaking your truth. But never be afraid to speak your truth. If you do it out of love, if you do it on factual information, if you do it because you care, that's the reasons to do it. Don't speak truth to power just to be speaking. Check your ego. The Japanese, when they compete in the martial arts, they don't believe they're fighting someone. In America, we have an opponent we fight, and we must dominate. The true tradition of the martial arts, the Japanese don't fight an opponent. They don't fight to win. They fight to set things back in a natural order. So when you are facing these negative times, negativity is not natural. It's not. Hatred is not natural. Animals don't kill animals out of hate. They do it out of survival, protect their territory, not out of hate or ego. That's a human need, a human emotion. So remember, when you're facing negativity or you're facing someone with a large ego that's being hateful or mean, negative towards you, all you want to do is speak truth to power, fight that force to put it back in balance. Don't do it for your ego. Don't do it to harm someone. You're just putting it back in balance. So check your ego. So if you have more on that, we do realize it's a very hostile world. I understand that people can appear to be mean, but generally people are striking out because they don't feel good inside. It's not against you personally, so don't take it personally. Just remember, speak your voice. Don't be afraid of your voice. And just set things back in the natural order. Next question. What if I set a goal and don't reach it? Okay, so what? What if I set a goal and don't reach it? Well, first thing I would ask, did you have a time frame? Because time frames can always be adjusted. The first question I would ask you also on that, was it worthy of your time? If you set a goal and don't reach it, that's okay. But was the journey worthy of your time? Today, Robin and I took a trip in the mountains and we saw a lot of fly fishermen. There were two in particular that evidently had been out there a while and they hadn't caught a fish. They were out there in the stream, in the beautiful mountains, cool breeze, doing what they love to do. I'm not sure that catching a fish was their true goal. It's quite possible that the goal was to enjoy their time fly fishing. So if you set a goal and didn't reach it, but you enjoyed the pursuit, was that not worthy of your time? And if it's really a goal you really want, something you really want to obtain, adjust the time frame. The most important thing is make sure it's worthy of your time, because that's one thing in this world we cannot get back is time. You can't save it. You don't get interest on it. Once it's spent, it's gone. So any goal should be worthy of your time. Besides, you may reach that goal later. And the last question we have for this evening, that I had this week, was, I have more people to think about when I set goals, and I can't just think of me. I'm going to repeat that, because I think it resonates to a lot of people. I have more people to think about when I set a goal, so I can't just think about me. You may be a friend of mine, but I'm going to ask you, are you using this as an excuse? Are you using your family, your friends, your associates as an excuse to why you haven't reached your goals? You know, you are at your best for the people in your life, for the people around you when you live your greatness. And you can't possibly live your greatness without setting goals. Whenever you set goals, you're never alone. I don't care what the goal is, you're never alone. Even if it's a selfish goal that you did just for you, you're never alone. Someone will benefit from you reaching your goal. Oftentimes, many people will benefit from you reaching your goal. People benefit from you becoming a better person. But when you don't set goals, you are alone because you're selfish. Not setting goals, not achieving, not accomplishing more with the potential given you in this earth is selfish. So when you're thinking about, well, I can't do this because I can worry about others, is that really the reason? I guarantee you, if your goals help you live your greatness, if your goals really help you become all that you can become, everyone around you will benefit from that. Don't be afraid to set goals. Don't be afraid to live your greatness, And don't use people around you as an excuse. Now, if you want to know, well, I don't want to set a goal if it impacts someone in my family in a negative manner, ask them. Just ask them. Say, how would this impact your life if I did this? You don't know. It may be a great benefit to them. So don't use your family or the people in your life as an excuse not to set goals. Would any questions come in, Robin?
No.
No questions. Well, I'll get them this week. Well, I thank you for your time, but let's recap.
There were a couple of, one comment, Tricia said catching a fish is always just a bonus.
It's always a bonus.
Lots of hellos from everyone. And then Mary O'Berry, earlier when you were talking about Jack breaking the board, she said, I learned that the hard way. Learn what you can do by what you can't do.
Exactly.
So, sometimes that's good information too.
It's very good information.
David's in a quiet mood tonight. He's here, but he's just quiet.
Probably tired.
Yeah. So, yep, had lots of hellos. Good to hear from everybody tonight.
Well, hello to everybody. Let's recap. Ask. One of the worst things that we do in our society is we're afraid to ask. It shows a sign of strength. It's not weakness, it's strength when you're asked. If you have the courage to ask for what you need to live a better life, ask. If someone can't afford it or they don't have the time, they'll tell you. But we got to learn how to ask for what we are worth and what we want. Then, number 2, learn to receive it. Receive it humbly, not arrogantly, like, I deserve this, but be humble in your receipt of what you ask for. Someone is gracious enough to pay you, to reward you, to give you, whatever it may be, but be gracious and humble in your receipt of it. And then give what you can. And I will tell you, in our society, sometimes we think too much of money. Money's great. The greatest gift you can give to somebody is of yourself, of your time, of your wisdom, of your knowledge, of your experience. When you give of yourself, that's the greatest gift of all. If someone benefits me 20 minutes of their time, I treasure that. Give me $20, that's okay. But give me 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes you can't get back. You can always earn $20 more, but you can't get that 20 minutes back. So learn to give of yourself, give of your time, give of your wisdom, give of your knowledge. Something else I want to talk about on recap is become become part of something that's greater than yourself. Sometimes the way to find your greatness is to belong to a great movement, a great group of people. Get lost in something, a greater cause than yourself. If you are the greatest cause you serve, your world's an awful small world. So become part of something greater than yourself. And I want you to know that you got this. Through all the hard times that we're going through right now, through all the, as Robin would say, and one of my favorites say, through all that's going on right now, we got this. Listen to the experts, be safe, wash your hands, ignore the protests and all these people upset because they think their liberty is being taken away. It's not. Take care of yourself, because I'll tell you something. Once life is lost, it's hard to get back. And I don't want anybody listening to us tonight to be lost because they were fooled by talk that doesn't matter. Listen to the experts. You got this. Reach out and ask. Find your tribe. I appreciate everyone being here this evening. I would like to remind you, at 8 o'clock every evening, go out and howl. The medical workers, the essential workers, that means so much to them. Our email address is bestyouguru@yahoo.com. We want to hear from you. We do. Our website is bestyouGuru.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Best You Discussion. Donations are welcome. And thank you for watching. Now, please live a life worthy of your potential.
Go howl, y'all.
Go howl.
8 o'clock Mountain Time.